everyone, and my name is Eula. Today I'm gonna read Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Diary of a Wimpy Kid, 11th story, Double Down story starting on Friday chapter, and we were gonna do a reading on some pages because today our story is a little bit too long, so we were gonna do a reading on the page. And I will gonna commend you about some books. But it's Korean book called Heidi. I have read that for a while, but that is really long story. And that story is about Heidi. Heidi is a girl and she is really pretty, not pretty than me. and Heidi is maybe 500 page. I have read 337 page for today. So I love that story very much. I will gonna commend you. I wish you could read that story. And now let's start reading this story. Are you ready for read this one book with a lot of stories? Now here we go. And first we can read Diary of a Wimpy Kid Double Down story. Starting on Friday. Today I returned most of the stuff I brought from the book fair, but when Mom saw what I got to replace it, she wasn't all that thrilled. I traded for a bunch of those spin-head licorice books everyone at school is so crazy about. Mom said she wanted me to get the books that were more challenging, but I didn't really have much of a choice. Since the book fair is a few weeks before Halloween, this is the kind of stuff they were selling. I'd say about 90% of the books on the fair was from the Spin Clicker series. There were a bunch of Spin Clickers rip-offs too. I don't know if there is a legal to do about kind of thing, but something about it doesn't seem right. It feels like the scary books just came out of nowhere. The last series that was really popular in my school was the Underpants Bandits books, but those are yesterday's news now. In fact, I saw a kid walking down the hall with the Underpants Bandits books earlier this week, and the 18th grader have given him an automatic wager. I'm not usually the big fan of the scary stories because when I read them, I ended up having nightmares. But Rowie is even more of a chicken than I am because all the books he picked out from the Splinticlers is a junior series, which are supposed to be for the kindergartners. At the last, I am brave enough for the real stuff. One of the books I brought is The Guy Who Gets Frozen and Then Wakes Up in the Future. I thought it was just a bunch of the science fiction, but Arbit Sandy said he heard about this rich guy who was doing it for real. Arbit said he saw this news report about an old ballerina who was really sick, and he paid a ton of the money to freeze himself. And then 100 years he's gonna get unfrozen. He had been dead by then. They'll know to cure every disease, and he can go living forever. This freezing thing sounds like a great plan to me. And if I strike it rich one day, I'm gonna do exact the same thing. But But I'm not gonna wait till I'm old like that ballionaire. The way I see it, if you freeze yourself when you're too old, and then when they unfreeze you in the future, you're gonna be too grumpy to have any fun. Get off my lawn. So if I win the lottery or something in the next few years, I'm gonna use the money to buy myself one of the tickets to the future. Okay, let's do this thing. I'm not telling anyone about my plan, though there is a jerk. There is a jerk at our school named Philip Crable. His parents are rich. So if he gets the same idea as me, I could still be dealing with him 100 years from now. You and yourself, haha. But I'm not sure if 100 years for enough to go. But by then, I'm sure I'll have a bunch of the great nieces and nephews who need babysitting. And I am not spending all that money just so I can change a bunch of dirty diapers in the future. I am planning on staying frozen a lot longer, like 1,000 for 1,000 years, because by then things will be really interesting. I am not willing to go any farther than that. Enough, because who knows how much human beings will have imploded by that. If I don't win the lottery in the next few years, I guess I'm gonna find a cheaper option. Albert Sandy said that people who can't afford to get their whole body frozen can just freeze their brains. I'm kind of nervous handing my brain off to some people I didn't even know though. I'm guessing they're not paying their employees a lot of money to basically wait around and do nothing. So I'm kind of concerned about equality to help they have working these freezing places. After your brain get unfrozen, I guess they'll put in some robot body, which probably takes a lot of getting used to. Neato! But if I can scrape together enough money, I'm gonna freeze my whole body and do it right. Because whenever you go with the cheaper option, you end up regretting it. Oh wait, it's Saturday. Oh, it's quite short. So now tomorrow will be get this book, but another chapter, Saturday chapter 3 for tomorrow. So we have read one chapters. And now, did you have fun? You lost English country. We come back with some this book, not this story, because it might be a new chapter 3 for tomorrow. And please don't to my YouTube. And bye bye everyone.